Howdy doody, fellas. This is your host, Super Poopie, and yes, that's right. You may be looking at this little thingamabobber right there, and not my massive gains. But, that's right, we got a little speaker. Now we can do things like this. That's right, Super Poopie ASMR coming soon. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to make an OnlyFans. Yes, that's right, you have a chance to look at my asshole. That being said, all that was just a joke. Disclaimer, we're looking at this Remington M700 rifle with a scope, a Bushnell scope, and this motherfucker is 1968 dated, so that's pretty damn cool. And I'm telling you, Remington M700s have been in military service by many fucking branches, including the police force. Now, this particular one is chambered in 30-06. Yes, that's right, the same round that's used by the M700 that was used to kill the Germans in World War II. Pretty fucking cool, right? Now, this one, now the Marine Corps has adopted the M700, and I believe they still use a modern variant of it without the wood stock. But in Vietnam, you would see this shit. I think the barrel was a little bit different. They didn't have iron sights. This one's more of like a civilian variant. As you can see, it has a front sight and a rear sight. So that's pretty cool. In case this shit decides to bust or for some reason I want to take it off, I'm like, fuck it. You know, fuck it, we ball. We're going to use the iron sights. And yeah, as a matter of fact, it's just got a very beautiful traditional look. And it's got a little bit of a, like, little ingraining and scratches right there. Or whatever they call them, like a little design. So you get a good grip on it, but it also looks very beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous rifle, and it's got this little squishy back right here. So it can be easy on your shoulder, you know what I'm saying? And over here, it's got a little pad right here for the cheek rest, and that's not something I'm used to. So this is your typical hunting rifle, but it so happened that it was also good to kill communists and whatever stood in the way of the United States military for quite a fat minute. That being said, I do think the M700 Remington is still being used by the United States military. Now, let us shoot this motherfucker and come to a conclusion whether I like it or not. Now, that being said, I will say it does have a light trigger. So let me just cover the trigger real quick and then we'll get to the shooting. So calm down. Look, like this. It's a very light trigger, unlike your typical military surplus rifle. This being a 1968 original was very surprising to me because I typically shoot like old Mausers, Mosin-Nagants, all that type of crap. So when I found out this thing has a very light trigger, it is very nice because that way you ain't got so much pull. Next thing you know, your bullet's going off to the left or the right, or you just botched the motherfucker and didn't kill him cleanly, and now it's going to stay ingrained in your head that you did such a thing to a person. But yeah, like I said, let's get right into it.
Howdy doody, fellas. This is your host, Super Poopie, and we are at the location where we're going to be shooting at. Actually, it's more over yonder. You want to go ahead and take a gander over there. Anyways, we're going to be trying out this Remington M700 in 30-06. Your typical M700 will be in like 308 and whatnot. But this is a 1968 dated one, so can't wait to try it out. I forgot to mention it in my intro that these for a while, from 2007 to 2014, they had a lot of problems with the safety system and whatnot. Hey, you think you can pop the trunk? I could. They had like a problem with the safety, and like a lot of SWAT team members were actually having negligent discharge with these rifles. Luckily, that's not the case with this one. This is a 1968 dated one, and it's pretty cool, as you can see. Well, I didn't have to go all the way back, but so you could get all the action going on. That's the safety system. So it's not like your Mauser where it's up here and you twist it on the knob. And you'll see that it has a very light trigger. We're going to go ahead and make sure that the chamber is clear. So the chamber is clear, nothing in there. And again, I'm just fascinated by how light that trigger is. Very cool. But alright, we're going to go ahead and get going and see if that range has a spot for us, because you know how them boomers are, they like to beat us to the shit. Let's hop in the car. Oh, it's so squishy in here.
Howdy doody, fellas. This is your host, Super Poopie, and finally we're going to shoot the damn thing. So let's go ahead and take a close look. This is a bolt action, so this will be a lot slower pace, but I won't tell you all about it. Watch this shot. And just like that, John F. Kennedy is no longer the president. Yep. Chambered in 30-06, so that motherfucker kicks. I think it's a little smaller than the 308 or 7.62 by 51 NATO. So, and of course the 308 did replace the 30-06, which was the previous main bullet of the United States military with the M1 Garand, the fucking 1919 Brownings, and the bar. So, you know, this is a very old round, and you can just feel the amount of power, the amount of kick that rifle has. But something I will say is that recoil doesn't really matter because it is a bolt action rifle. So what matters here is that you get that one good shot so you don't have to shoot him again, you know what I'm saying? So this is more like a precision rifle, I guess, if that makes sense, rather than something like an SVD or an M14. What's that modern version of the M14? More so to suppress from a distance. This is for straight up, you're gonna fucking shoot to kill, you know? Because, I mean, you're not gonna have a good time suppressing someone with a bolt action. All right, you're gonna want something in semi-automatic. This is like the shit the top snipers would use in Vietnam. And if it wasn't this, it was the M14. But either or, both rounds performed very well, I'm sure, no doubt about it. I do need to get, you know, if I just had fuck you money, you know, if I won the lottery, I would get the same M700 chambered in 308 and make a video comparison for y'all. Because, I don't know, a lot of people do say that the 30-06 is more accurate than the 308 round. So I find that very interesting. And I would like to figure out that one day. And honestly, something I do regret is I didn't get footage of the scope. And obviously, if you guys know my situation, I don't know when I could get that footage for y'all. I might not. But eventually, I'll definitely make a part 2 of this video because sniping is like its own thing. Like, I could do a video in long distance shooting in general, regardless of the firearm. So that's going to be awesome to do. But I will say this, after a while of shooting this rifle, your arm does get fucking tired. And it is a very lightweight rifle. So you're going to feel that recoil hard. So this is perfect for like any sniper situation. Because, you know, snipers, they have to travel, they have to hike a lot. And if you're carrying a fucking stick that only weighs like a couple pounds, you're good to go. As if, like, you were carrying a bar that's also in 30-06. Sure, you're not getting much recoil because of the weight of that rifle. But you're going to get tired carrying that shit. And, I mean, it's a bolt action, again. So, semi-automatic is pretty irrelevant. My no intention to the guy off to my left. Dude, that guy had so many cool guns there. That's really freaking cool. And he actually let me shoot one of his guns. I'm probably going to use it for a future video that I'm not going to tell you what it's about. But yeah, very cool to see. But anyways, back on the topic. That being said, this rifle was in the same shop for like a year and a half. Nobody bought it. And when I came back to that shop, I was avoiding that gun shop because I was like, fuck, I got to save money. Came back to it, was still there, brand new, untouched. I'm pretty sure Grandpappy bought it, put it in his fucking closet, forgot it existed, and then he fucking died. And, you know, his kids found his rifle, and they're like, ew, gun! Nobody would buy it, so I was like, fuck it, we ball. I'm gonna take this damn rifle, I'm gonna take real good care of you, sweetie. And, yeah, I had to take a couple clicks off to the left. Off to the left and down, I believe, because it was shooting high right for some reason. And I can show you guys the targets. And as you can see, we have this pretty well zeroed to 300 yards, I think. Yeah, that's about 300 yards, I would say. But overall, if you want to go any further out than that in this range, it's very difficult because then the targets become metal. But the metal targets are like free-for-all for everyone, so you don't know if you hit the target or not. So if I want to zero this further, and I want to zero it up to Marine Corps standards, which is 500 yards, I'm gonna need my own range. I'm gonna definitely need my own range, my own targets. And I'm gonna need to walk back and forth, because I want to become a pro with this rifle. I want to be like fucking, what's his name, Charles Hathcock, I believe so, the sniper in Vietnam. You know, it's a really cool, fun hobby. And you know what? Eventually, I want to upgrade it and be able to shoot moving targets from a distance. I just want to get as talented as possible with long distance shooting. It's always been a huge fascination of mine, so it's very exciting, very huge game changer to get a sniper rifle rather than just another rifle with iron sights. Very cool, very fun, very awesome, but it's just a whole other ball game when you add a scope to that shit and you're shooting from quite the distance. It becomes more therapeutic, if that makes sense. While as if you have like a semi-auto rifle, it's like, yeah, you know, training, tactical, all that shit, but it's like you also fuck around and shit, and it's just fun. It's a good time, and it's a blast of energy. But with this, it feels more therapeutic. It's like a more calm fun. It's kind of like you go to the club, fucking dance a little bit, have a good fucking time, all that shit. Or you could go to a nice lounge bar, have a couple of drinks, and just vibe out. That's what sniping is, man. And look at this beautiful scenery. Look at that beautiful scenery. You're just enjoying nature, and you're just popping rounds with other motherfuckers. Although I will say that when it comes to sniping, I would want to shoot alone. I need to find my own range sometime, especially for y'all. But anyways, again, I'm going off topic. And that cheek rest is just working so well. I see why people do it and why it's like a bit bulged out off to the left so you can lean your cheek into it. And overall, in all honesty, I highly recommend this rifle. It's a fun gun to shoot. It's a good time. That being said, I can't say anything for the 308 version. And I'm sure they make them in other types of rounds, I'm sure. But I'm very happy with my 30-06 sniper rifle. That being said, for some reason, 30-06 is more expensive than 8mm Mauser here in California. So I do find that very odd. But 30-06, I don't think there's much surplus in that left over, especially here in America. Everyone's going to be buying that off, you know? Especially with all the goddamn boomers in the gun shows and the gun stores and all that shit, fucking hogging it all. So, yeah. But, yeah, it costs you like a little over $1 a round. But, you know, for this, it's more about taking your time. So, in a way, it kind of makes up for it because, like, spraying and praying is fun. And then, like, tactical, like, two to the chest, one to the head. You know, that's fun. That's cool. It's good to train and all that shit. But like I said, this is just more therapeutic. Although that kickback, that fucking recoil is quite violent and jabs into your shoulder. It feels like I got some sort of a fucking side chest workout on my outer fucking pectoral, whatever they call it. And then, obviously, I can't really access the iron sights due to the scope, but it'd be cool to see where those iron sights are landing and if they're zeroed. But overall, not touching this rifle. That scope is staying on there, and it's already well zeroed. But I do, again, want to zero it out to 500 yards.
The red one? Off to the left. Has a number 14 on it.
But other than that, I don't have much to say. Not much. I mean, I could get the barrel for the Vietnam version, which is just straight, no iron sight. This is more so like a hunting one. Although in early Vietnam, I know there was a lot of Marines and Army bringing their own guns from home. I know it was very common in World War II to bring your own personal firearms. And you'll actually see these very rifles being used in the battlefield and whatnot, you know? So pretty cool. This one, no doubt, has seen no action. It probably hasn't even killed any deers because look at the pristine condition of that rifle. It is just so clean and beautiful. But all right, guys, I'll leave you to it. Like, subscribe, much love, take care. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I got a lot more firearms content coming soon and a lot more cool shit for y'all. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.